अस्सलामु अलैकुम। 7H न्यूज़ में आपका खैर मकदम है। प्लीज़ वेलकम टू द 7H न्यूज़। आज का मौजू एक अहम मौजू है। हम सबको एकजुट होकर काम करना है इन दिस पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन। हमने बचपन से एक कहानी सुनते हुए आई है, खरगोश और टॉर्टॉइस। उस मौजू पे मैं आपको I'm going to show you some kind of presentation with the teamwork, inshallah. Now please, let's go on to the presentation. Good old lessons in teamwork from an age-old fable. The tortoise and the hare. Once upon a time, a tortoise and a hare had an argument about who was faster. That's not true. The faster runner is me, says tortoise. Here I am the first runner. They decided to settle the argument with the race. They agreed on the route and started off race. Fine. Okay, let's have a race. Now, the hare shot ahead and ran briskly for some time. Then, seeing that he was far ahead of the tortoise, he thought he would sit under a tree for some time and relax before continuing the race. Poor guy, even if I take a nap, he could not catch me. He sat under the tree and soon fell asleep. The tortoise, plodding on, overtook him and soon finished the race, emerging as the undisputed champ. The hare woke up and realized that he would lose the race. The moral of the story is the slow and steady wins the race. This is the version of the story that we have all grown up with. The story continues. The hare was disappointed at losing the race and he did some soul searching. He realized that he would lose the race only because of he had been overconfident, careless and lax. If he had not taken things for granted, there is no way the tortoise could have beaten him. Why I lost the race? So he challenged the tortoise to another race. The tortoise agreed. Okay, can we have another race? This time the hare went all out, ran without stopping from start to finish. He won by several miles. The moral of the story: fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. If you have two people in your organization, one slow, methodical and reliable, and other fast and still reliable at what he does, the fast and reliable chap will constantly climb the organization ladder faster than the slow, methodical chap. It's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable. But the story doesn't end here. The tortoise did some thinking this time and realized that there is no way he can beat the hare in the race the way it was currently formatted. How can I win the race? The tortoise started thinking. He thought for a while and then challenged the hare to another race, but on slightly different route. The hare agreed. Can we have another race? This time we will go through a different route. Then the hare says, sure. They started off in keeping with his self-made commitment to be consistently fast, and hare took off and ran at top speed until he came to a broad river. The finishing line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. The hare sat there wondering what to do. In the meantime, the tortoise toddled along, got into the river, swam to the opposite bank, continued walking and finishing the race. What should I do? The moral of the story: first identify your core competency and then change the playing field to suit your core competency. In organization, if you are good speaker, maker, good speaker, make sure, create opportunities to give presentations that enable the senior management to notice you. If your strength is analysis, make sure you do some sort of research, make a report and send it to upstates. Working to your strengths will not only get you noticed, but will also create opportunities for the growth and advancement. The story still hasn't ended. The hare and tortoise by this time had come pretty good friends. They did something together. Both realized that the last race could have been run much better. So they decided to do the last race again, but to run as a team this time. Hi buddy, how about doing our last race? Great, I think we could do it much better if we two help each other. And this time, hare carried the tortoise till the river bank. There the tortoise took over the swam across the hare on his back. On the opposite bank, the hare again carried the tortoise and they reached the finishing line together. They both felt greater sense of satisfaction they would felt earlier. The moral of the story, it's good to be individually brilliant and to have a strong core competency, but unless you are able to work in a team and harness each other's core competencies, you will always perform below par, because there will always be situation at which you will do poorly, someone else does well. Teamwork is mainly about situational leadership, letting the person with the relevant core competency for a situation taking leadership. There are more lessons to learn from the story. Note that neither the hare nor the tortoise gave up failures. Hare decided to work harder, put in more effort after his failure. The tortoise changed the strategy because he was already working hard and he could. In life, when you face with failure, sometimes if it is appropriate to work harder and put in more effort, sometimes appropriate to change the strategy and try something different, and sometimes it is appropriate to do both. The hare and the tortoise also learn another vital lesson. When we stop competing against a rival and instead of start competing against the situation, we perform far better. To sum up, the story of the hare and tortoise teaches us many things. Never give up when you face with failure. Fast and consistent will always beat slow and steady. Work to your competencies. Compete against the situation, not against the rival. Pooling resources and working as a team will always beat individual performer. Now you have seen the presentation about the teamwork. Teamwork is much more important. हमें एकजुट होकर काम करना है, irrespective of caste, creed, religion and political differences. The time has to come. इससे हमें यह सबक मिलता है कि हम सब, अल्लाह ताला ने हम सब को एक अलग अलग खूबी दी है. हम सब एकजुट होकर काम करना है, एकजुट होकर कोरोना से लड़ना है. जय हिंद. Please keep watching 7 News channel and please do subscribe. Thank you.
जैसा आप देख सकते हैं कि मेरे हाथ में यूनिस्टोन, कितने ही सालों से अगर वो पत्थर आपके गुर्दों में हो या पित्ते में, ग्लैडर के भी जब पत्थर होता है ऑपरेशन से नहीं निकलता, लेकिन ये दवा खाने के बाद वो आपको जो यूरिन के जरिए जो है पूरा होकर निकल जाएगा. जहां बड़े बड़े ऑपरेशन फेल हो जाते, वहां पर ये दवा काम करती है.
गुर्दे और पित्ते की पथरी ये प्रोडक्ट से गल जाती है, फिर दोबारा पथरी फॉर्म होने नहीं देती और इसमें कोई साइड इफेक्ट भी नहीं है.
मेरे को पित्ते में कैंकर आ गया था, मैडम दवा दी और मैं अच्छी हो गई.
Contact 9703939436 R&S Unani Pharmacy, फर्स्ट फ्लोर ऑपोजिट कैनरा बैंक, बहादुरपुरा, एक्स रोड, हैदराबाद।
अगर हमारी न्यूज़ आपको पसंद आई है तो सबसे पहले शेयर कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए, फिर ख़ास तौर पे हमारी रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। 7H न्यूज़, आपकी आवाज़।